I'm Leo Walder for Kit Guru, and this is the Cyberpower Infinity Luxe 805 GT. Infinity Luxe because it's from their high-end range of gaming PCs, 805 in-win 805 chassis. GT, it so happens the graphics are GTX 980 Ti. Cosmetics are a huge part of the system. The in-win chassis uses tempered glass panels on both sides of the case, which I cannot have on for the video because otherwise the lights would reflect like bilio. So here's one I prepared earlier. And doesn't that just look absolutely stunning? Now, the other half of this case is performance. Overclock Core i7 6700K Skylake, and as I say, GTX 980 Ti graphics card. Here we have GTA 5 all set to roll, 3 gigabytes of graphics memory in use, set to 1080p. And just get that going so you can see what it's like. And while it's doing, I'm just going to bring in the Kit Guru microphone. This is loading the benchmark, as you can see. And the thing is, it's quite a raughty PC. The thing is, you've got at the front the Corsair H10i GT liquid cooler, 2 fans on that. You've got a ring fan from Thermaltake at the rear of the case. I'm assuming that Cyberpower's used that because of the cosmetic lighting. And it is a fairly noisy system because the cooling is howling away to keep the processor nice and cool. The fan noise does vary, it's not just set to full on, so it's, in a way that's almost worse, because it means it's never really quiet, but it does change, the pitch and the volume changes. And if we go to the back of the case, there's also a little noise there. Now, I have clearly not helped the system by having the glass panels off and shoving a microphone at it. Clearly, if you had the panels on and it was down under your desk on the floor, then you would hear less noise. The fact is the glass barely deadens the noise. Take the panels off, it doesn't get a lot louder. It is reasonably rackety. That is a deliberate decision by Cyberpower. I noticed when I got this system and I was going through the spec of the thing, it didn't have Corsair Link software installed to control the Corsair liquid cooler. Link is good, but you can use it to control fan speed, set a fan profile and control the lighting. Now, I have installed it so I could change the lighting to match the innards of the case, but Cyberpower told me they deliberately had not gone down that route. They'd instead controlled the fans and the BIOS, specifically to be certain the cooling would keep control of the processor running at that massive 4.7 gigahertz. So no Link software, that's a deliberate choice. So it's the BIOS doing the job. Now, the Asus BIOS in the ROG Maximus 8 Ranger motherboard, it's a good bit of kit. All Republica Gamers motherboards that I've ever seen have been good. This is yet another. The BIOS does a proper job. That's all fine. So basically the noise, what it boils down to is live with it. Frame rates, turning to the screen, as I say, set at 1080p. You get 95 FPS in GTA 5 with the image quality set high. In 4K on high, you're looking at about 40 FPS. So if you want to play 4K games, which you certainly can do with this system, you're going to have to tone down the image qualities a little bit. GTA 5 is a system killer. Other games such as Tomb Raider or Thief, less so. You can get through 4K game settings with the image quality very high indeed. It will manage it slightly better than GTA 5, but you do need to take it off just a little bit to be guaranteed to get those 60 FPS that we mainly want. 1080p on the other hand, it just destroys it. I mean, look at it, it's absolutely epic. So the hardware, we've got the in-win 805, which is just beautiful. As I say, Thermaltake ring exhaust fan, I'm sure that's for cosmetic reasons. Intel Core i7 6700K, ordinarily 4 GHz with a bit of turbo, overclocked to 4.7 GHz. Corsair H10i GT liquid cooler at the front, doing a very fine job. ROG Maximus 8 Ranger motherboard. 16 gig of Corsair DDR4 running at 3000 MHz, so quite a lot of memory, very fast. MSI GTX 980 Ti graphics card, 6 gig of memory, runs at reference speeds. That's 1000 MHz core, bit of boost, and the equivalent of 7 GHz of memory. Memory speed. The main storage drive, interesting, is an Intel 750 PCI Express. That's NVMe, 400 gigabytes. So it is pretty much big enough to put your games on it, but you're not going to get your movie library on there. To back that up, we have a 2 terabyte hard drive, which is going to be plenty for most people. You have a Corsair modular 750 watt power supply. Curiously enough, above the graphics card, you can see a PCI Express Wi-Fi card. A previous reviewer, bless them, managed to return the system minus the antennae, so in the photos you ain't going to see those, but that's on them rather than Cyberpower. And then a copy of Windows 10 to keep it all happy. A couple of things I noted when I got the system. So the antenna missing, which Cyberpower explained. The Corsair Link software not installed. I thought that might be a snafu, but no deliberate choice. And the BIOS is a couple of versions out of date, about 2 to 3 months actually. But that again is bound to be a deliberate choice, because when you're overclocking your system, the system builder needs to be confident it's going to be stable primarily. And if the new BIOS doesn't offer anything they're particularly looking for, why give themselves a hard time, get to know a new BIOS? So the BIOS does look a little out of date, but there we go. Oh, apparently need to activate GTA 5. Packaging of the system in the box is absolutely fine. They stuck a load of bubble wrap inside it to keep everything in place. That was all terrific. The initial bling and such, like, you can't argue. It looks gorgeous. You'll get all the photos on KitGuru in the usual style. And the noise is the only issue for this case with me, with this system rather for me. It's almost inevitable when you have a glass-sided case. If you're going to have a load of cooling inside it, it's going to get noisy. There are plenty of cases on the market that are very quiet. We've seen them from Corsair, NZXT, Fractal Design actually does some decent ones. Even Fantex has some decently quiet cases, even though they tend towards the liquid cooling end of the market. This case is undeniably bling. And not quiet. The glass, as I say, barely keeps any noise in. It's the precise opposite of panels with loads of sound deadening, but it looks amazing. Unfortunately, the combination 4.7 gigahertz processor, thunderous graphics card, cooling to keep it all in check, glass equals noisy. That's just one of those things. You pay your money, you take your choice. The price is a few pence under £2,000, which for this level of hardware is entirely reasonable. It does sound a bit ouchy, but you're getting top quality hardware. The only thing, 2 TIs please, and £2,500. A lot of hardware, a lot of money, a lot of performance. It looks stunning. I'm not happy about the noise, but it looks amazing. This is Leo Waldrop for KitGuru. This is the Cyberpower Infinity Luxe 805 GT.